Making counteroffers at the DJC Collectibles studio, I'm Midwest professional wrestling legend Gage Octane. And now, here's a guy that lives by the motto, gotta get a deal, Kyle Peterson.
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, back again for episode 29 of the Kyle Peterson Show. And with me as usual, my vivacious and buxom co-host Angie. Angie wearing the fishnets today. Oh my goodness, what are we doing? It does look like
I'm
it.
not naked.
Oh, I see a little nipple.
There's a little nude.
Oh, it looks good. It looks good on you. So, congratulations to Angie. I got the best seat in the house right here for episode 29 of the Kyle Peterson Show. Dangerously close to episode 30. Dangerously close to the Halloween season. A lot going on. But Angie, how are you doing today?
I'm over-caffeinated.
She's over-caffeinated. She's 5 Red Bulls deep.
I mix creatine and Red Bull.
Oh my gosh, you've been doing those squats. You've been squatting all over the place. I know what you're up to. Looking good. So Angie's all jazzed up, and I'm just defeated over here. So Angie, you're going to have to carry the load. We want to switch seats? No. We can switch seats. You can run the show this week. That'd be
I'm feeling like ADHD.
Uh-oh. Watch out. Angie's on one here today. But Angie, it is episode 29 of the Kyle Peterson Show, and it is brought to you by DJC Collectibles. Use discount code ADOFFDJC to save 8% off your entire order, and some big DJC pickups for me this week. Check out the reviews on my YouTube channel. It is Strong Guy. It is the Juggernaut. It is the G.I. Joe police officers. So shout out to DJC Collectibles. Man, some all-timer figures. Possibly 2 of those 3 might be my top 10 figures of the year. So stay tuned for that as well on my YouTube channel. And if you're not watching this on the YouTube channel, maybe you're listening to the audio podcast, check out the video version of this podcast if that is your thing as well. So a lot going on the channel every single day. A lot going on the podcast. And as I said earlier, nearing episode 30. The slow march, the slow crawl to 100. Will we make it? We'll see what happens there. But a lot of fun on the podcast. Angie, and Halloween is about here. I think we've settled in on the Halloween outfits. I think we're ready to go. Maybe a few things to do still, but should be 2 or 3 weeks from now? Something like that. Whatever a Halloween episode ends up being. It'll either be right before Halloween or...
we could do episode 31, because Halloween's on the 31st.
Oh, is that how it might work out math-wise?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's too much math for me. That's too much math for me. But I do know it's episode 29 because I wrote it in my notes here just so I wouldn't forget. And that's something I could easily forget. But love a good 29 like a good 69. That's for sure. But Angie, we got a few things to housekeep at the beginning of this video. Some may know this, some may not. You can get early access to this video of the podcast each week, usually like 4 or 5 days ahead of time. If you are a Patreon member, the Kyle Peterson Patreon, well, the month of Halloween, this will be October, I am giving away 3 things to one lucky winner. You could be a free Patreon member. You could be a paid Patreon member. Doesn't matter. Choose your own adventure. But we got Nosferatu, Ben Cooper Kid. We got Frankenberry. This lines into the cereal discussion we had last week a little bit. And the NECA Ultimate Gremlin. Upside down. There you go. So one winner will get all 3 of these. You can be a free member. You can be a paid member. Does not matter. Head over to the Patreon, sign up, check out some of the content, some of the things that we got going on Patreon all the time. And like I said, you can get this video earlier than traditional YouTube. And then we have our traditional giveaway that we do every single month for Halloween. It's the Man Called Sting Supreme Edition Jazzwares. So a lot going on the Patreon each and every day. Plenty of early access to videos, all that kind of stuff. Angie stuff. And we actually, Angie, are going to do a new Patreon exclusive video. Now, here's my deal is, once this video series is done, it'll live on Patreon, but then maybe I retire from YouTube sometime, and then we can just post these videos down the road. Years from now, it could be. Who knows? Something to look back on. But this week, Angie, I had quite the time. Stop me if you've heard this before. Or don't stop me, because these people definitely want to hear it. Yes, you've heard it. But Saturday morning, I was up, like I usually do. I start my morning, I brush my teeth. That's my first thing. One of these days we'll do a video, a day in the life of Kyle. And I first jump right out of bed. I spring out of bed and I say, oh, my back. And then I walk into the bathroom and Angie's usually sitting there naked in the bathroom, just doing stuff, hanging out. It's just a wild scene. It's like the jungle or something. I don't know. She's hanging out. She's doing her thing. And then I walk in, I kind of stumble in there. I said, oh, I don't want to do the day. But then I do. I spring into action. I put my contacts in. That's what I got to do so I can finally see.
Go pee.
I do pee. Usually watch. It's exciting, let me tell you. And then I brush my teeth. And then I comb my hair. And then I get in the shower. And then I put some clothes on. And then I go downstairs and I sit in my office and I work away. I don't care, 7 days a week. So I sit down there usually every Saturday, Sunday morning for about 2 hours on the computer early in the morning before the day is going. Let my hair dry. I like to do that. Let my hair dry. But I'm sitting there and I'm working away and I get an angry call. So I had to take care of it. And I called one of our managers and I feel bad calling those guys on Saturday, but I'm like, they're working. If I'm working, right? Yeah, probably not. So this individual, a good brother out there, I called him and he said, well, I can't get to this till 10 a.m. I'm in line at Buffalo Wild Wings. There's a new location not far from our house, Angie, opening up. And first 100 people in line get free wings for a year. I'm like, oh man, I forgot all about that. Now this was about 8:30 in the morning and it opened at 10. I said, so what's the line looking like? He's like, I don't know. There's maybe 40 people in line. And he was talking about getting there at like 2 in the morning, but he drove by at 6 a.m. and there was nobody there. He's like, I could probably wait a while. But I'm happy I called him because I said, geez, I'll be there in 15 minutes. So got my shoes on, put the dogs to bed, and headed over to Buffalo Wild Wings, got in line, and I had to sit there for about an hour. But what did I come away with? Free wings for a year. How about that? Eating good in the neighborhood like a young Applebee's, but instead at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Booklet.
So free wings for a year. What is that? Well, it's not go in there for unlimited wings. You get a coupon. There's a coupon for each week of the year. Basically, it's 4 coupons for October, 4 for November, like that. You can use them all at once. You can use them once a week. Choose your own coupon adventure. And I ended up I was number 44. So in that 15 minutes it took me, only 4 other people got there. I wasn't thinking, though, I was in such a hurry. I should have swung by and grabbed my dad. I probably should have called you and said, hey, you should probably come over and do this too. I didn't. I was very selfish, wanted the wings for myself, but I'll share with you, and we'll get to that in a second. But I waited there, so I sat there for like an hour. I did answer some text messages on my phone. I did a little editing kind of stuff, some channel stuff, posted a video, did all that stuff. And before you know it, that hour was up, and I was living the dream with free wings for a year. And then I thought to myself, it would be perfect here. Now, when I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, Angie, what do we usually get? We both kind of get the same thing for the most part.
Dry rub, buffalo.
Get a little dry rub. I like a little liquid, but a dry rub,
and
yes.
Teriyaki.
Teriyaki a lot of times. Sometimes I'll get just a traditional buffalo once in a blue moon. Usually bone in, occasionally boneless. If you're there on a Thursday, you're like, well, it is half off, buy one, whatever. Maybe you do that, maybe you don't. But I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's try it. We're going to try it all. That's what we're going to do. I said, we got 52 weeks. I looked at their website, Buffalo Wild Wings, that is, and there's 26 dry rubs and sauces all in. I said, Angie, let's do a Patreon exclusive video. We'll do every single sauce, every single dry rub. We're going to try every single one. And that should be adventurous because Angie doesn't like spicy stuff. She may look spicy, but she's not spicy in the taste department.
I'm getting better.
She's getting better. But constant learning, constant improvement, Angie. But we're not quite ready to try those. But Angie's going to try the hottest of hot sauces. So we're going to work our way. I don't know if we start at the bottom or we do it kamikaze style. We got to figure that out still. But we're going to do a Patreon exclusive video, maybe once a week, every 2 weeks, basically take us a year. And we're going to try every single wing. So it'd be another thing for Patreon members to jump into if that is your thing as well. So stay tuned to that. I'm thinking about making it for the $1.99 level. So if anybody wants in at $1.99, they can at least see Angie eating these wings, getting sloppy with the wings all over the place. So more on that, but that was a big win for me. And it was a week I needed some wins. And I think I did the math. It was like something like $712 or $760 worth of wings. Man, I'll take that. It makes me feel it's all about justification. It's about justification. Well, I got to get that new Mondo figure or whatever. Well, I did just save all this money here. So it's a justification right there. So very excited. Shout out to Buffalo Wild Wings. And Angie, there's another location opening in November. And I'm thinking about trying it again. So we can have 2 different locations, 2 free wings.
God.
You live in that wing dream. That's what you got to do. So tell me exactly.
Did you mention this is a weird one where it's only to go?
Yeah, it's a to-go Wild Wing, so I'm not sure. But we haven't been there yet. We're going to try to go there.
We're going to be eating in the car.
Maybe, or we're going to try to go there and see. They might have a little bit of seating. We'll see what ends up happening. But Angie, at the end of the day, how proud of you are me? How proud of me are you? How about that?
I've been prouder.
You've been prouder? Well, I was just trying to get us free food. No big deal. Just trying to feed the family. That's all I'm trying to do. But Angie, we're not done. This is really turning into a food podcast. The last couple of weeks we've done food top 5s. No food top 5s this week, for good or for bad. But Angie, there was some crazy news, and this chain has been in the news on this podcast the last couple of weeks. The highs and lows. I absolutely love it. They disappointed me last week. Well, then this week came news. I don't know if you saw it in Google News, wherever the news was. Our good friends over there at Long John Silver's making some changes, and I really think this is going to signify the end of the company. I was reading a little bit about it. Long John Silver's lost 34 restaurants last year, and they've been losing like 30 to 40 restaurants a year, I think, every year. So they're slowly going extinct is what's happening. And that's unfortunate because people need the fish in their life. It's healthy. Trust me, it's healthy there. But they did make an announcement that they're changing their logo from the fish and moving it to a chicken.
It looks so weird on the
Oh my gosh, what are we doing there? Now, I understand them taking that business hat saying, okay, the Raising Cane's, the Chick-fil-A's, the Zaxby's, the Dave's Hot Chickens, all these places are on fire. Of course, KFC always on fire, as we know. The Popeyes. There's chicken everywhere. It's a chicken society these days. People love it. This week, we just tried the Wendy's chicken tenders, and more on that in the deeper dive this week. We tried, and I guess it is about food, but not really. That's not really. That's a portion of the story. We'll talk about it. But all these companies are moving over to chicken. I think LJS is like, our chicken planks are to die for. They are delicious. People, they're a hidden gem at Long John Silver's. A lot of people go for the fish, obviously, but those chicken planks, man, don't count them out. Don't count them out. My kids might hate them.
So juicy.
So juicy and good and deep fried. Oh, full of calories. Good calories, though. But they're moving it to chicken. Apparently, they're doing this transition. And I guess they started in Kentucky. And LJS started in Kentucky. Very strange. Harlan Sanders, KFC. It's a weird place. But shout out to Kentucky out there. Some people claim I'm a Kentucky gentleman. And I am.
Sure.
But I don't know how that's going to go. I just don't think people think chicken. And they said they're going to start having Nashville hot chicken, maybe some extra sauces and some spices on stuff. I don't know about you guys, and I haven't tried them yet, and I will when the day comes, but I like my chicken planks just plain. I don't dip them in ketchup. I don't dip them in anything. I feel like the breading's got flavor. I feel like the chicken's juicy and flavorful. I feel I'm good, but I don't know if I need a Nashville hot chicken plank from LJS. But we'll see what happens. Stranger things have succeeded in the world, but I don't know. I don't know how this is going to end up going. But man, LJS really keeping us guessing, keeping us on our toes is what they're doing.
I thought you were messing with me when you showed me that. I thought it was like AI or something.
My dad still doesn't. I was telling my dad about it.
Weird with a chicken.
Yeah, my dad. I told him about it. He wasn't believing me. He said, "I don't think he still believes me." I don't know. So we'll see where it happens. But chicken is on brand right now, as is Angie. Angie, you're always on brand as well. But we got a little bit bigger story, and there'll be a little chicken talk in this as well. Angie, it's time for a deeper dive brought to you by Amped Apparel. Use code Kyle to save. It's your favorite segment. It's time to go deeper. You always say, just go just a little bit deeper.
You're always like an old car, like starting up, like.
Yep. Deeper and deeper in that is what we got.
Or it's just giving me a little jump scare.
You love it. I always got to start strong. Capture the attention, Angie, and just like you're trying to do in a whole different way. But here we are, deeper dive style. And now this week, as a follow-up from last week, I made mention that I was losing my company car. Hard times. I've went about 20 years without a car payment is basically what it's been, probably.
Me too. Crazy.
Yeah, basically Angie too. She's had the same old Jeep Commander, the trusty Commander. We've had that as well. So we haven't bought a new car in a long time. Now we do have a Wagoneer. We have a Wrangler as well. So we got quite the fleet. And my company car, unfortunately, is coming to an end December 1st. So I have to figure something out. Now I'm not left in the lurch. And yeah, I know some people are like, oh, poor you had a company car. Well, fortunately or fortunately, I travel a lot, 9 states. So you got to be reimbursed for that, or else I'd probably break even on my job if I had to pay all that stuff. Yeah. But now I have to get my own company car. We can get whatever we want. It has to be within 6 years. I mean, it's the usual stuff if you're familiar with some of these company reimbursement plans. I got something like $425 a month to use towards that. So I had to find something eventually. And now they did let me buy my Ford Fusion. That's my trusty Fusion I've had since 2020, my company car, and actually a pretty good deal on it. So I looked it up and I talked to somebody. I'm going to basically it's $2,000 to $3,000 cheaper than if I was going to try to buy it. So I was like, you know what? I really should buy this Ford Fusion. My daughter turns 16 in about a year and a couple of months, so it'd be a good first car for her. In the meantime, Angie's got a Commander, a Ford Fusion to drive if need be. I could drive it if need be. Not bad to have more cars, I guess, even though we look like a parking lot here, a used car parking lot we got 3 in the garage and 2 in the driveway is what we're going to have to be, but it is what it is. So we got that. So I made the decision to buy it. And I forgot to mention, my company is giving us money to get a car so that they understand, hey, this is a lot to put on you. So they're giving us $5,000. So I got the Fusion. I'm going to buy the Fusion for $6,000. So basically $1,000 for a vehicle I've had since brand new. I think that's a pretty smart move for me with my daughter being 16 here in a year or so. I think that makes a lot of sense. But I knew I needed another car as well. Angie might need another car in the future. She's going to be starting a job, maybe. She's going to get back in the working world, back in the grind. She popped those kids out. She's been on Easy Street. Not super Easy Street, but she's ready to get back to the normal grind of work. And she could have a pretty good car allowance as well. But we're thinking right now between us, she's going to drive that Fusion into the Commander and just pocket the $500 for a while. Why wouldn't you? And then just figure it out. Play a little long game on that. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, I knew I had to find a new vehicle. And I'm not a big fan of searching for vehicles. I mean, it's a lot easier nowadays. You don't have to go to lot after lot. You can look at everything on the computer. But I was at my office, and this was, I believe, Saturday night. Had the kids with us. I think we went to Walmart or Target or something. Went to my office to drop stuff off. I don't know what else we did. But anyways, we perused. Is that a good word? We perused one of the used car dealerships, one of the big ones here. And we were driving through. And of course, you can imagine all these commission-based sales folks over there. They're all going crazy. They're wanting a piece of your business, and they're flagging us down. We're just trying to do a drive-by to see what's going on there and look at some stuff. And it goes into the whole rigmarole of, the auto seller person, girl. I don't know. Salesperson.
Saleswoman.
A long way to get there. The saleswoman. She comes over and flags us down, wants to talk. And of course, you got to be friendly. I understand it. I'm a salesman. I understand how it goes. So we did the whole thing. Angie, you want to add anything to that?
I liked her.
She liked her a whole lot. She was nice. She was nice.
But she's very quirky.
Yeah, of course.
She was very nice.
And we sat there, and of course we had both kids with us, which is never good if you have kids. They don't want to, but they sat in the car and listened to their K-pop. Well, little do they know is they'd be sitting in that car for about
2 hours.
2 hours listening to K-pop, but it is what it is.
You were throwing me under the bus. You're like, watch, guys, your mom's going to get us caught up in there. She's going to test drive. And what turns out? This guy.
Kind of.
This guy got us.
I said, here's what happens. Here's what Angie does. And then she's going to fall in love with it. She's going to want to make the decision.
And then you did what you said I would do.
Kind of. But we're going to talk through it. We're going to talk through it. I didn't quite do that. I did one key difference, and that's the difference between you and I. Angie's ready to jump in. She don't waste any time, let me tell you. But I don't waste much time either, but I wasted a little bit of time. And we'll get to it here. But anyway, she said, oh, what are you looking for and all this? And I had my eyes on a 2024 Jeep Compass is what I was looking for. Now, remember, I'm driving this for work, so I need something gas mileage. Now, traditionally, I'd like to get a Grand Cherokee or a Wagoneer or maybe a four-door Wrangler. Maybe it's time for that. Mm-hmm. But obviously, doesn't make a lot of sense. I want to get it as close to what the company is going to pay me for the month. To me, it sounds dumb to go above that. So had to limit that. Now, I'm a Jeep guy. Did you know that, Angie? I like Jeeps. That's what I get. I have Jeeps all the time. I've had like 20 Jeeps in my life. I'm all about the Jeep, so I wanted to get a Jeep. Now, Jeepers Creepers. But I wanted a Jeep. Now, we were looking at stuff, and I figured the Compass is the way to go. I couldn't go Grand, couldn't go the others because of the payments. I don't want to be too high on the payment, and I didn't want to pay a lot more in gas. So the Compass was good. It's got a little bit of storage. It seats 4 very comfortably. I can put the seats down if I got to haul something around or if I need to, or if I go to a big toy show and get some toys. There's plenty of room for all that kind of stuff. Obviously more room than my Ford Fusion. So that's what I was in the market for. So we were looking at this 2024 edition, had something like 17,000 miles. I forget what the price was on that one. But she's like, oh, you don't want that. You want brand new. I'm like, of course I want brand new. And I know all these sales tricks. And I had to remind her multiple times that like, I know what you're doing. I'm not dumb. I know what I'm doing here. I know. And then let me tell you about the history of Jeep. You can save that. I know more than you. That's what I want to like, I know more about Jeeps. I'm listening.
She actually did know a lot about Jeeps.
She knew a pretty good amount, but she's like, well, what do you know? And I'm like, well, here's the Jeeps I've had. Sit down for a second. Let me rattle off every Jeep I've bought over the years. God. And and maybe we'll talk a little bit of that in story time with Kyle this week as well. We'll do another Jeep purchase story. That'll be a good one. But I rattled all that off. So she's like, okay, this guy does know his Jeeps. He knows what he's doing. So long story short, she goes, let's go sit down. I'm like, oh, we got the kids there. And always be closing ABC. They're trying to get you to stay there. And the dealership literally is closing at 6. I'm like, aren't you guys closed? Oh, we stay till that last customer. But of course they do. It's commission. You got to stay there all day. So we're hanging out with her there. And, I know I want to get a Jeep Compass. I just don't know when I want to get it. And this one here, it's like, she's like, you can get a brand new 2026, better interest rate for basically the same price on this, which is just wild. But that's the difference between used interest rates and all that kind of stuff.
2025.
No, the Trailhawk or whatever one we were looking at. And then, so we're looking at that. So I'm like, wow, okay, well, let's look. And I was like, I'll look. I don't care. I'm just looking. And that's what I told her from the get-go. Like, I'm not buying here today. Come on. What are you kidding me? So we're looking over there and she's showing us 2026s, but then they had two 2025s left. And I'm like, wow, 2025s. And they're like, yeah, we need to get rid of these because we got all these 2026. I'm like, well, here we go. I'm thinking in my head, the same vehicle, basically. It's just a year difference. And if I can save some money. So we start talking, we start doing the dance a little bit, and they come back with $8,000 off this vehicle compared to a brand new one, which are identical. And the one I was looking at, we test drove one and it had like 1,200 miles on it. I'm like, man, this doesn't feel new. It's got 1,200 miles. The other one only had 25 miles on it. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, so what's the price difference? Oh, same price. I'm like, okay, and then we actually liked it. It was a silver one, and a black one was the 12,000 or 1,200 miles. Liked the silver one better. Had the black leather on side, all that kind of stuff. Pizzazz with the cars. And we liked that one a whole lot. And then getting $8,000 off. And I'm like, well, I got $5,000 I'm going to put down on whatever we end up getting. So I'm like, this one seems to be the right one. And then, of course, that's when the finance manager and everybody starts hovering in. Well, what's it going to take to close this deal today? I'm like, we're not closing any deal today. I said, I'm not making a purchase like this on a whim. I don't work that way. And that's where the difference between us was. I was saying you would make that decision. I was adamant. I don't care what you offer me. I'm not making a decision today. I haven't really started looking yet. I want to research this a little bit more. I don't care what you say. And but I said, I'm going to sleep on it. Well, you shouldn't sleep on it. And then they gave us the whole story. Oh, this one, there's people in here looking for this. They want to buy it. Well, if they want to buy it, it wasn't meant to be for me. That's what I told her. She's like, well, you shouldn't live your life that way and all that. I'm like, well, I've done okay so far. And try to strong arm you. Then the finance manager, or the general manager of the place comes out. I'm going to sweeten the pot. I'm going to give you a year of tire rotation, a year of oil changes. And I'm like, oh, great. So if I do decide to buy that, that'll be on the table as well, or else I'm walking away. I'm like, I'm not making a decision today. So he just gave his hand out there. I'm adding to that. If I do buy, I'm going to be adding all that to it. So they tried and pushed. And I'm like, we have two kids. They've been sitting outside for 2 hours. We got the whole wrap. We know what's going on. We know the used. We know the 2025s. We know the 2026. I'm good. Hey, here's my business card. We'll be in touch when I want to make this decision. And strong arm. What is it going to take? What's it going to take? We'll DoorDash you guys food. I know you're going to dinner. We'll buy food for you. What do you want? You want Culver's? You need Culver's?
We should have done that, honestly.
We probably should have. Taken it for like, I don't want anything. We're going to a restaurant. It's Nate. It's dinner time. The kids are grumpy. I'm getting grumpy. I'm hungry. I'm wanting out of here. They're not understanding. You can't sell a salesman. I know all the tricks they're doing there. I said, I'll be in touch. We'll talk on Monday. Let me sleep. It's Sunday. The car dealership's closed on Sunday. We're going to research. We're going to look at it. We got these savings on the table here. We got a few other things we can do.
We also were considering trading in my Commander, which we did not have with us.
Yep. So that was the other thing. We were going to trade in her Commander possibly because she could take the Fusion. So we were thinking about that. And well, could you get somebody to get the VIN number? Because we didn't have the VIN number on us. And we're like, we didn't even think about it. Can you just, here's what it has. Here's the mileage. Here's everything. Can you just give us a ballpark? Well, we need it. Can you call a neighbor? Can you call your parents? Maybe they can go to your house and get the VIN number. I'm like, no, I'm not doing any of that. And anyways, long story short, we ended up asking about the Commander. I looked it up a little bit, and I figured they were going to give us $2,000 for it, which was just no way. There's no way I'd give that up for $2,000. I could sell the tires for $2,000 on that thing. But then she came back and she said, yeah, we'd probably give you $1,000. It's probably best to keep it. I'm like, there's no way I would give away that Commander. It's the top of the line one. Got the Hemi in it. It's got all the premium leather, the DVD. It's got everything. So for $1,000, I'll keep it and I'll live in it as a camper out back in my yard if I have to. So we didn't trade anything in on that. So hence we got the Commander and the Fusion sticking around here.
Hence the used car dealership.
Hence the used car dealership.
That's right. Our driveway.
That's right. So anyways, we got out of there and they just had the puppy dog looks because I am sure. Now I put myself in their shoes. Yeah. We're never going to see these guys again. We just wasted 2 hours with them. You know, I get it. You're trying to close the deal. You want to close it that night, but any sane person isn't. If this was an action figure, I would pull the trigger. Yeah, I can always take it back later. A car, a little bit more work involved on that.
I always let you close the deal.
I know, I always do. I close it all.
You don't take 2 hours.
I don't take 2 hours. No. 4.
Just quick.
No.
Quick.
So, anyways, what the heck? So let's get out of here. So we did end up leaving, and when we go,
the kids were like, "Bruh."
Oh yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, you guys sat there and listened to
Pointing
K-pop.
at the time.
Yeah, you sat there and listened to K-pop in the car. The same thing you'd be doing in your bedroom. So don't give me that sob story. But long story short, or long story longer, we went to dinner, and we were going to go to this barbecue place. Of course, we get there. The line is out the door.
It's brutal.
Oh, and we settled for Taco Bell. Oh, what are we doing? So we went to Taco Bell that night. And then we slept on it. We did some research. I made a couple of phone calls to some trusted individuals. I called one of the people that your future employer just to talk through some stuff and said, okay, here's what do they do for their reimbursement? Want to make sure all this is covered. Did some math, added some stuff. Called my dad, dear old dad, said, Dad, what do you think? Let's walk through this together. And we came to the agreement that I was going to buy this compass. So we decided, okay, and we had an appointment for Friday, or what day was it? Monday. Headed it for Monday. You know, it's all day long. She's sending me text messages. Don't forget, you're coming, right? You're coming, like really trying to close that sale. I'm like, yeah, my word is my bond. My word is my bond. Have you seen my YouTube channel? I say I'm going to do 4 videos a day. I do 4 videos a day for 5 years. I'm very consistent. So trust me, I'll be there.
Oh my God.
But we ended up going there and all that kind of stuff. But all day long, she's texting me about this.
Have you really done over 5,000 videos?
Probably.
I was just doing the math.
I think so. Between both channels and everything.
I gotta look it up.
It's a lot. That's
crazy.
What am I doing with my life? I don't know. But where was I going with that? So
Girl Mavis was calling.
Yep, she was calling, want me to go there. And I said, yes, I'll be there, everything. We did the math and all that. Now, I technically don't need this vehicle till December 1st. So basically, I'm paying 1 month earlier than I need to, which I'm not a big fan of that. And that's what I told them. I was like, I don't want to do this. But then they said they could defer my loan or something, which they ended up not doing.
Kinda. Well, I don't know if that's typical.
A month,
but we don't pay it till like the end of November.
Yeah, so that
I
sucks.
think that's probably normal.
I forgot to mention that because they said, oh, we can do something where you don't pay for 45 days. I was like, oh, that's good because that would line up when I get that. But anyways, I forgot all about that. And we already signed it. And that's when I remembered. So I was like, well, that's on me. That's on me.
But also, if we would have waited till the 2025 was gone, we wouldn't have got the deal.
So most likely that 2025 was going to be gone probably in the next week, one way or the other, because they added all those extra incentives to get rid of it, that $8,000.
Yeah, it was 35, wasn't it? And they dropped it to like 28 or 27.
Yeah, it went way down. So I think somebody, and they were saying, oh, there's 2 people. Oh, there's another person in here looking at it today. And I'm just like, maybe that was true, maybe not. But either way, it made sense. So I didn't feel bad about the purchase. We made the purchase. The only thing I feel bad about is, Angie, we got to make sure we don't drive it really the next 2 months. We got to use my company car where we get free gas and everything like that. So that's what we got to use the next couple of months. So I know like today you went out and about and ran some errands, but you took the new vehicle.
It's already got 200 miles on it.
No.
Yes.
It had 117 last night. What did you do today?
I don't know. I was just guesstimating.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We hit 100 yesterday, 100 miles. I can't believe it. But anyways, we did drive out with there and I was, and the girl was really, really nice, but this was a pretty rough experience as far as buying the auto car. I mean, I'm a guy that sells and does stuff. And that's why I think at one point I even told him, like, I make $1 million deals all the time. I know what you're doing. I understand what this is. I understand this. You're not going to get one over me. I know what you're doing. I know how this works. But they were a little bit, they should have had a nice printout. Here's your options. Here's your interest rates. Here's your lenders. Like, they could have put a lot more of that. And a lot of it was just on a piece of paper for you. They sent me a text message like, are you still interested in the Jeep Attitude or Altitude, which isn't a thing. So they messed up the spelling. So it was a little bit sloppy throughout the process. Luckily, I knew what I was doing. So that's the thing. But if you're some grandma just buying something, you're going to get confused and all that. So luckily they were...
Once the financing went through and we were in that room with that lady, that it went... I mean, she was good.
Yeah, it was what it was. So I don't know.
It wasn't. Basically, it's one of those interactions where every time you ask a question, they're like, oh, let me check.
Yeah.
Oh, let me check.
Let me check. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Let me check.
And we were just talking like, can you imagine me and you running this place?
Yeah. So it was fine. She was a nice girl, and,
But yeah.
I remember when I bought my Wrangler brand new, the whole dealership all came and clapped me out of the place. That was special. I felt special with that. We did get a picture with the bow tie on the vehicle, which is kind of an afterthought. So it was what it was. But the thing to sum all this up was, for me, when you get a brand new vehicle, usually that's an exciting time. It's like, oh, I got my first house, or oh, I got a new house. It's like, not as big as that, but it's a big purchase. One of the biggest purchases you make in your life. So it should feel more exciting, but because I was kind of forced to get a new vehicle and the circumstances.
And you don't like being told what to do.
I don't. And it just kind of didn't, it took a lot of the, it took a lot of the excitement away, to be honest with you. So
it's fun.
It is what it is, but it's nice to get a new vehicle.
Yeah. It's weird. We haven't had a new car in so long.
Yeah, and I'm fine. I'd drive my Wrangler if I could. I just don't want to get miles on it. So I don't know. So
we're going to catch that thing in no time.
Who knows? So, but I had to get a Jeep, and I think I did the best I could do knowing the circumstances of the hand that I was dealt. So a little new car. It was interesting. That's what we're going to put. Any last thoughts from you on that, Angie?
I think we got within like $20 of the payment of that used 24. We got a brand new 25.
Yeah.
For the same price.
So like right now I'm pocketing like $200 a month on top of everything is what I'm doing. But I got to pay insurance out of that. Gas is somewhat paid for. So that's a little fuzzy. We'll see where that goes. So basically I broke even. Yeah. That's pretty good. But if I quit or whatever, the car's mine, and then I got to figure out how to pay the payments. So maybe they transfer to you if you have that job. Who knows what happens there? But we might be doing this whole song and dance maybe a year from now. We'll see what ends up happening once again. But we'll probably get a car.
And then we definitely got to trade in some cars.
Yeah, then we can't have 6 vehicles. So we'll have to figure something out when that time comes. But we'll see. But that's a little deeper dive of car buying. Something we haven't done in a heck of a long time. But it worked out the way we wanted it to work out. So all was good. Just like Angie, it's time to try new foods because it might taste good.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. We gotta try new food because they might taste good.
All right, Angie, it's time for you to shine even more with Try New Foods because it might taste good. What do you have for us this week?
Stranger Things Doritos.
Stranger Things Doritos. What are the flavors?
A little mashup with Cool Ranch and Stranger Pizza.
So we've had Cool Ranch, which I loved Cool Ranch as a kid. Not my favorite anymore. I can eat them, but not my first, second, third, fourth, fifth choice. Pizza, I'm here for pizza all the time, so I'm here for this. Now, first thing I noticed is the old school Doritos logo. I love that. We're seeing a lot of throwback stuff around Stranger Things, obviously set in the 80s. I do like the Chips Ahoy throwback, too, on those as well. But it looks like, what does it say? Chip in for Hawkins. Call 1-855 for Hawkins. Limited 1987 edition. Oh, 1987. I'll never forget. What's your best memory of 1987?
None.
None?
I'm just a baby.
Oh, 87 for me. I'll never forget sitting on my bed, opening up Topps baseball cards. Whenever I think of 1987, I go to that brown border on those Topps cards. If you know, you know. But I do like some Doritos, so we'll see if these taste like 1987. And if you go to your local Target right now, we saw it last night, huge Stranger Things sections. Haven't seen something like that really since Star Wars back in the day. You got shirts, figures, candles, all kinds of stuff, keychains, toys, you name it. It's all in there, and Doritos too. So
is this the series finale? Like it's done after this?
They have like 8 episodes, but they're all like movies. Each episode's like a movie, so they're really milking it for all they can. Everybody loves a good milking. How about you?
I've never seen an episode.
Oh, well, there you go.
But yeah, I do like milking.
You like good milking, of course. But Angie never seen an episode, never really seen Star Wars either. So not the only one in the family that hasn't seen stuff, that's for sure.
I did eat a Cool Ranch taco at Taco Bell the other day. That was good.
Was it good? You liked it? I had it a while back, and I remember it, but it never got me too excited. That's for sure. That's for sure. But Angie, let's try it. Let's dive into it.
Okay. Should we do it from the bottom?
Oh, yeah. Angie's tip. Angie pro tip. You're supposed to open up your chips from the bottom. A little Angie's advice. And then you break them all up, apparently, when you shake them. Let's see. Give it a smell.
Oh, it's got a weird smell. What does that smell like?
So it's like pizza chips. And we got 150 calories on 11 chips. So there it is. Jump in. So I don't know if they're...
Oh, look how... Wait.
Are they two separate chips?
Yeah, this is
I'm
different.
Guessing. So I don't know if I got pizza or ranch.
Yeah, you definitely got a pizza.
Oh, perfect.
The Cool Ranch, see how light?
All right, I'll take that. All right, I'm going to try the ranch first.
Did I get one of each? Do these look different to your eyeball?
That's one first.
Okay.
Tastes like a Cool Ranch.
Well, it's skewed by the pizza a little. It's got a little Italian seasoning.
I really feel like the Cool Ranch Doritos, and most Doritos, would taste better if they had double the powder on them. I think that's something they should do. They should have all powder editions and give them more flavor, because I'd eat a lot more of them if they would. Most times they just taste like a plain tortilla chip.
If you get one that looks like Christmas, you know it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah, I know. All right, try the pizza one.
Okay. A little sweet. Ooh, like the spice is kicking in.
I think it's got a little bit of that. Yeah, it's weird. I would never guess in a million years
that one's got a lot of seasoning on it.
I would never guess in a million years that was pizza. If somebody said, guess what flavor this is, I wouldn't guess pizza.
They got a little kick to them. Are you getting that in the back of your throat now?
We all love a good shot in the back of the throat, don't we, Angie?
Mm-hmm.
That one was better because it had a ton of seasoning on it.
Yeah.
It's almost got that, like, Italian seasoning, like, comes in like a spice thing, green. A little bit of spice to it as well. Herbs. It's got a little of that. I don't taste a lot of, like, cheese or pepperoni. It's got a picture of pepperoni. I don't taste the roni on there. And you know I love pepperonis, 2 of them. Oh. Now, we're not going to rank the Cool Ranch. I mean, it is what it is. It's just what we've had. But what do we think about the pizza? Out of 5.
I don't know. I like it.
I can eat this. I mean, I like Doritos enough that this isn't something that's going in the garbage. I think this will be gobbled up by Angie Goblin.
But would you like it better if it was just separate?
Probably.
Like
I probably like it better.
Kind of makes it, because the Cool Ranch is like not even good to me because it's skewed by the Italian seasoning.
Is it supposed to cool down the seasoning, maybe?
Oh, yeah, maybe a balance of like dipping ranch in pizza. Yeah, that makes sense.
People do that. There's some crazies out there that dump their ranch in pizza. Do you know any?
Oh, man.
Not me.
Kids do.
Kids do. I don't know. It's all right. If you like Doritos, you know what you're getting into with Cool Ranch, most likely. The Stranger Things pizza, it's fine. It's fine. It's worth trying one time. It's not going to kill you. So what would you rate it out of 5?
They won't go in the garbage.
No. And they won't even be fed to the rats.
I'll give it like a 2, probably.
Oh, man, that's rough.
2.5.
Okay, 2.5 for Angie. I'm just going to go 3.5 out of 5. They're not bad. It is what it is. It's just not... I'd rather have just the pizza.
Italian seasoning on a chip.
Yeah. I'd rather just get the pizza by itself, or I wouldn't be opposed to just a regular
look at it.
normal Dorito. So it's from the upside down.
But it does got a little kick in it. Has a little sweetness to it. To the sauce.
I don't know if I'd buy them again, but they were good for what they are. So not bad, not good, just somewhere in the middle. And I guess grab a bag and watch Stranger Things later this month on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken.
They're mid, They're like mid. Me.
Oh, you're mid? I don't know about that. How about that? So there it is. That's Try New Foods. Angie, though, it is Halloween season. It's time for the Figure of the Week. All right, Angie, it's time for Figure of the Week, and it is the Halloween season here. And we got a little Halloween kind of inspired figure. Yeah. What do you think?
It's always hard not to try to pick your teeth during this segment after we
right after the food. I got a few Doritos bouncing around.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. I got a few bouncing around as well. We got Bela Lugosi Dracula, the all-time Dracula for me, as our desk figure here. But I got another one for the spooky season. Went deep into the vault. We're going to our friends over there at Super 7. On the Super 7 website, go over there, use code Kyle, save yourself 0%. 0%. But it is code Kyle on Super 7 website. But it does say that, oh, Kyle's great. We should give him a figure to review every once in a while, which it's been a while, Super 7. What are we doing? But use code Kyle, save 0%. Don't forget that 0.
What website were you just on trying to buy something that's giving you the fits?
Oh, so in between segments, I was jumping on Hasbro Pulse trying to get the Pythona figure, and oh my gosh, had to reset my password, wouldn't work. Oh, it was a disaster.
Oh, he's fuming.
I should have filmed that as a Patreon exclusive. I was melting down. I was throwing a fit, but luckily...
What are we doing? A lot of what are we doing too?
I got through. But Angie, the figure this week, Super 7 Ultimate Edition, Slayer Minotaur from, of course, Show No Mercy album, one of the famous Slayer albums. Very cool. You got the wired cape going on. You got the Minotaur head. You got the sword with the blood on it. You got the goat man just representing the devil. Truly showing no mercy this Halloween season. Very underrated figure. Now, there is a repaint black gray version here. And looking at
I was trying to see.
We could put this on your nightstand.
Trying to see if he had animal legs or regular.
We could put him on our nightstand in our bedroom, maybe. That'd be a good nightstand. But
the feet. He's got the hooves. No.
He's got the hooves and the feet and the boots on. So he's a dangerous, dangerous character and Slayer and all-timer. And both of my daughters wearing Slayer shirt these days. I'm like, can you please name some Slayer songs?
It's interesting. Just his chest and arms survived. Everything else morphed.
I don't know. It's the
way
way
I guess he kept his form.
But I was proud of Emma. You said you drove Emma to school and she was wearing a Slayer shirt to school. And she said what?
That she needed to listen to some songs so she wasn't a poser.
Yeah. She said, just in
like,
case.
Oh, I know a couple of these. She knew some.
She said, just in case, I better refresh on some Slayer on the way to school. We refresh my brain a little bit so we make sure. In case any of the kids quiz me on Slayer. And I don't know what her teacher thought of wearing those crazy Slayer shirts, but good to her. Kudos to old Emma. She's a real one out there. Just like this Super 7 Minotaur figure. This is the figure of the week. But now, Angie, it's time for something we haven't done in a while. It's time for Rate It or Hate It. All right, Angie, it's time for Rate It or Hate It. As Angie and I were spending some time together on the couch the other day, of course. Angie, you remember this? Yeah. You remember that night, that fateful night? And we decided on HBO Max, the new Superman movie was there. I never did see it in the theater, nor did Angie. I said, Angie, what do you think? What do you think about watching it? And I don't know if you're like me, Angie, but it's a daunting task to watch a movie. Am I going to have 2 hours straight to be able to sit here? Am I going to be interrupted? Is something going to happen? It's very tough for me. I like a good half hour, 23-minute show because I can get in and get out pretty quick. I like that a whole lot. But I said, okay, let's sit down. Let's watch this Superman. Obviously, I love superhero movies. I've seen a lot of Superman movies. I haven't seen the last few, though, since Brandon Routh was the last Superman I saw, and he's from up the road, so I had to watch his movie. But I said, I like James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the Peacemaker show, so I'm probably going to like this Superman, so at least I hope and thought I would. And Angie, we're going to rate this out of 5 here today. But it was your typical Superman tale with a twist. One thing I absolutely loved about this movie is because whenever Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, they get rebooted, they always start over with the origin story. And I'm sick of seeing the origin story. I want to just get to the action. So the first movies are always just kind of like, oh, it's the same story I've seen a million times, maybe a twist here and there, but it's the same old, same old. I'm glad they went straight to the meat and potatoes on this one a lot. I like that. And I liked they gave a little bit at the beginning of, does Clark and Lois Lane know that he's Superman? Do they know that? And then they kind of toyed with that. And then you saw the jig was up, that they knew that we were deep in the relationship here. So I like that. It felt like it was in the middle of something instead of having to start and going through the whole song and dance. So I enjoyed that a lot. You're nodding your head in a very interesting manner. So you're in the same boat, huh?
Okay. Same. Now I was going to ask, do most movies do that where they're like already in the relationship, or is this the first time?
No, usually I can't think of many that start. Sequels and stuff do, but not the first
usually
time.
They're like in enemies to lovers, or or not, or they don't.
Usually it takes a movie or two to get to Lois Lane and Superman. Maybe the first one they'll figure it out at the end. I don't know, but they got right to it here. So I like that a whole lot. Is interesting too is Superman. First thing I think of with this movie is the McFarlane figures, which came out before the movie. So it was weird to see those robots and Mr. Terrific, and there was that Kaiju and the baby Joey.
Baby Joey, I love the baby.
So there was all those figures, and you're like, what is this going to be? And then in your mind, you made those, this Kaiju is going to be a long battle scene. This is going to be a big part of the movie. And it was like 3 minutes of the movie. And then like Baby Joey was like a 5-minute segment of the movie.
It's like old Mr. Saban.
Yeah, so it was a little strange there. Now, we knew Lex Luthor was going to be a big part of it. Angie, I don't know how you felt about this. I wasn't a big fan of the guy that played Lex Luthor.
Didn't he seem too young?
Too young. So that was my issue there. I mean, I get what they're going for.
Like they're like, let's just make him bald. It's fine.
And it was weird.
And then he looked weird bald. Like he didn't belong.
He looked like a 13-year-old kid. If you shave that kid's head, you're like, oh, he shaved his head. What's going on? And why did he shave his head? He probably had a full head of hair. And that's kind of what this actor, whoever it was like, he just looks too young to have the Telly Savalas hair like that. I mean, they could have done something where he lost his hair. They could have shown him, I like to keep it shaved because of this. It just, the whole time I saw him, I was like, he's way too young to have a shaved head. What's going on here? Does he have alopecia? Does he have an issue going on? There's something there. It's just, it took me out of it weird, but Lex Luthor's usually bald, but I felt like Lex Luthor shouldn't have been the same age as Superman, whether or not that was true, but the same thing. He should have been 10 years older than Superman. A little bit older, a little bit more wiser. And then you play the game like, how is this young kid in his like 20s, late 20s, whatever? How does he have all this? How's this going? We didn't get a ton of backstory. Obviously, he's a wealthy guy. We understand all that. But I wasn't huge in that, and your mileage may vary. And I remember another thing about this movie. Everybody said, Mr. Terrific steals the show. And Mr. Terrific, we've unboxed a bunch of his figures. You remember Mr. Terrific?
Yeah.
The guy with the balls.
I vaguely remember him being in the movie, though.
The black guy wearing blackface. It was an interesting move. But Mr. Terrific, I am by no means a Mr. Terrific expert, but I heard from numerous people he steals the movie. He's the greatest thing ever. I honestly didn't think it was that great for Mr. Terrific. He didn't steal the scene. Everybody's like, oh, he steals every scene he's in. He didn't do that to me. I don't know. That
Clearly not me either. I don't even know what you're talking
that
about.
all went over my head, so I was a little bit disappointed by that. I don't know if you have anything to chime in on.
No,
Not
I don't
yet.
even remember.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's one of those movies we watched it like a week and a half ago, and it's like in ear, one ear out the other,
Yeah.
and that's everything this day. We consume so much, it just you forget what you've been consuming. What did we do for try new foods? I can't even remember, but it's weird how that works.
Teeth and I can't remember.
Still in your teeth. So that was a little bit strange, and there was a lot of people saying the movie was very preachy. I didn't really get the preachiness aspect till the very end, when then Superman gave a little speech about aliens, and you're supposed to draw the conclusion that, we're all one world, all that kind of stuff, that kumbaya stuff, which sounds great on paper, just doesn't work out that way in real life. But he's saying, he's an alien, and look what he's doing. And then you have the usual stuff. Is Superman good? Is he bad? We've seen that trope before in movies as well. So it was a little bit of everything for movies. Now, I did like the camera work, the direction, the cinematography. I like the colors, the vibrancy, and we saw that in Guardians of the Galaxy with the colors and stuff, and we see a lot of that in here. The music was good. All in all, it was worth seeing. I'm glad I saw the movie, and I say that about a lot of movies. That Toxic Avenger we saw not too long ago. I'm glad I saw it. Probably not going to watch it again.
No.
I don't foresee me watching it. Now, sequels on HBO Max in the future, I'll probably watch it. But was it my favorite movie ever? Is it something I want to watch a million times? Probably not. Be interested to hear kids. Like when I was a little kid, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies were on TV all the time. I watched them multiple times. I don't know if I was a kid now, if I do the same thing with that Superman, or if there's too many other things for me to take my time away. A lot more options in this day and age to watch stuff. And that's where I'm at. I don't have time unless I absolutely love something to watch it multiple times. So it's a weird thing. So I wouldn't watch it again. But I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I saw that. And we'll see where the Justice League goes, Justice Gang, the Justice Society goes in the future. Some of that, I'll be here for the ride, but most likely on the HBO Max ride eventually. But it was worth my time. Was it worth your time? Not really.
I just hate how movies like that, like I want them to be dramatic.
Oh, yeah.
And they
that's
just
right.
make them so spoofy and like add too much comedy.
Yeah.
Like that's why you can rewatch movies from your childhood like that over and over, because they invoke a feeling in you. Like this is just kind of like a song you listen to that's like,
well, maybe you're older
and you
and
never would listen to it again.
If you watched that when you were a little kid, though, maybe this one would strike that chord in you. Maybe that big alien speech would just win you over.
No, I hated that speech.
Oh, did you?
Well, I guess maybe. I thought it was really cheesy and cringy, actually. It wasn't like he was trying to be really emotional, and it was like a bad speech.
Yeah, it felt forced.
Yeah,
it felt like they
like
were shoehorning that in there to
It's
me.
like they wanted you to like get a tear in your eye, but you were just like cringing.
Yeah, and I do like non-dramatic stuff every once in a while, but I know
We're very different. Yeah,
you like different style
like
movies.
my favorite movie is like Shawshank Redemption or like Green Mile or
and I've never
Schindler's
seen that
List or
either.
something.
And I've never seen that
Something
either.
that like is really emotional and dramatic.
You like
me.
You like to be brought down. You like to be depressed coming out of the movie theater.
I like to I don't know.
You like to run the gamut of emotions.
I like to feel like I'm learning too.
When Angie runs all those gamut of emotions, the ups and downs, then at the very end, that's when I swoop in. I swoop in. She's been on a roller coaster and she needs just a release from that roller coaster ride.
Oh my God.
Oh, but
there was a lot of controversy from that movie because supposedly there's like videos of them kissing after they cut.
Lex Luthor and Superman?
No, Superman and Lois Lane, and they're like both married.
Oh.
So there was like videos of them kissing after they're like cut, and then she like kisses him a couple more times, and people were like coming for her.
That was news to me. I don't know. I didn't follow that drama, but I don't know. It is what it is. But if you had to rate it out of 5, Angie, what would you rate it?
2.2.
2.2.
I was going to say 2.5.
That's what I was going to say. That was your other one.
That was too much.
I'm just going to go middle of the road 3. It was worth my time. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't anything over the top.
Oh, and it really bothered me that they didn't dye his eyebrows.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could tell he was like more like naturally your color, and they dyed his hair black, but they left his eyebrows. And so his eyebrows were like a medium brown blondish.
I don't see.
Really bad.
I don't see color, so I don't know. I just don't see
dyed
color.
those, he would have looked so much. But he was very handsome. It was good fit, a good casting for him, I thought. But
there you go. So there it is.
Looks-wise.
There it is. Angie didn't care for it. I thought it was middle of the road. I'm glad I saw it. that's kind of where it lays. So rate it or hate it, Superman. Check it out, HBO Max right now. But now, Angie, it's time for another Jeep story. It's time for Story Time with Kyle. Time for Story Time with Kyle, the time where you take your pants off, your shirt off, and you just get comfortable. Get comfortable. Feel free to get comfortable on the chair here, but it's a little Story Time with Kyle, and we told the story of our latest Jeep purchase, but now I'm going to bring you back to a former life Jeep purpose.
The purpose of your life.
It was the purpose at the time. at least for that day, it was my purpose, but it was my purchase. Now, once upon a time, let's see, I'm trying to think what year this would have been. 2015, I want to say. And I was on the road selling my goods, selling my wares, and moving around. Actually, it was way before 2015. This would have been maybe 2007, possibly. Anyways, long story short, I was traveling out in the country about 2 hours away from where I live. And I was driving the cornfields of southern Iowa. And it's a dangerous time. And I got more stories about southern Iowa in the future. And let me tell you, they're crazy. But I was out there and I saw off in the distance by the Walmart, and there was a cornfield and it had a Jeep sitting up there. It's like, what the heck could this Jeep be? I'm being a Jeep guy, So I went up there on the hill and I saw it, and it was an old school postal Jeep. Now, does people remember the postal Jeeps from the 70s and 80s? Right-hand drive, of course. That's what they were.
No power steering.
No power steering.
Absolutely brutal.
Pretty brutal drive.
It's got like a steel frame on it too. I mean,
it was,
for how small they are heavy.
It's a golf cart with a box on it is basically what it was. But me being a Jeep guy and loving the strange Jeeps, the forward control Jeeps, the Scrambler, probably my favorite Jeep of all time. A lot of different ones. The Gladiator pickup trucks, obviously the Cherokee Chiefs and the Wagoneers. So many good Jeeps. I saw this postal. I'm like, oh my gosh, how cool is that? And then I saw the price up there. $400, Angie. $400 for the postal Jeep. I said, oh, wait a minute here.
Gotta get a deal.
Wait a minute here. $400. I think I'm going to dive in. So went up there, talked to it. Now, it had been painted over like 10 times.
It was looking rough.
Blue, orange. Like there was a million different paint colors coming throughout that thing. So that was a little rough. But I'm looking at it for like $400. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to do this. Long story short, I did buy this Jeep, and I don't even think I told you about it, or maybe I was driving home and I told you, hey, Angie, I bought this. Now, here was the crazy thing. This is about 2 hours away from my house, and no power steering, no power brakes, so it's driving an old vehicle, and having to drive that home on highways in the interstate when top line is like 60 miles per hour or something like that. Once again, you're a box on wheels.
Were you with someone?
By myself.
But how did we go back and get it?
I think we went and got my car later. I can't remember how that all happened. That part gets fuzzy. But this thing got about 8 miles to the gallon. Of course, the fuel gauge did not work on it. So I filled it up and just hoped for the best, and then had to stop along the way. I stopped at the end of the highway at the gas station before I got on the interstate. But the other thing I forgot to mention about this one, now it was automatic, which was nice. But it didn't have a seat. It didn't have any seats in it. So how did I drive this home? I drove it sitting on a milk crate is how I drove it. So can you imagine me sitting in this Jeep on a milk crate, no power steering, no power brakes, a dangerous box on wheels that's really meant for like rural travel to mailbox, trying to drive this thing home 2 hours. So zero issue driving it. The guy said, oh yeah, it runs great. Everything's great, all that stuff. And it seemed to be that way. And I drove the hour on the highway, no problems. Obviously got passed a few times because you can only go so fast. But then got to the interstate, and I said, this is where it's going to get dicey. Two-lane interstate, and by this time, it was getting dark. So a little bit scary. You're driving a golf cart in the dark. You do have lights, but it's, 1971 postal Jeep here. So this is pretty old. And I'm driving it there, and it sucked because let me tell you, I'm in the slow lane the whole time. And every time a big semi came through, you can imagine with this big box on wheels, just like boom, blowing off, and you're fighting the steering wheel, trying to get it back, going back onto the road, and I'm driving this thing home. And then I told Angie, I said, okay, I'm about home. I'm about there. Come meet me, and and I was driving it straight to the mechanic just to like, hey, go through this, make sure, get an oil change, make sure this is all freshed up, ready to go. I was very happy I was making it there. And I luckily didn't get in an accident. Nobody ran into me, but, fighting to stay on the road. But I finally got back to town. And unfortunately, Angie, the first exit I got off on all of a sudden, I think it was just me slowing down the engine. You know, I was going whatever miles per hour, 45 miles, 50 miles per hour straight for like an hour and a half. To have to stop to get on normal streets and go slow again, something happened. And I could hear the puttering. Poop, 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 poop. I'm like, uh-oh, that is not good. And I, luckily, down the road, it wasn't the mechanic I was going to go to, but there was another mechanic one over by my old office, actually. Pulled in there, and by the time I got there, I popped the hood, and a fire started. It started in the engine. Luckily, I put that out really quick. But basically, the carburetor exploded on this bad boy. That's what happened. It absolutely exploded. So I wasn't going anywhere. And I said, well, this mechanic's going to get the business for me here. You went and picked me up. And unfortunately, it took them like a month with this vehicle because they weren't accustomed to working on these. They had to get parts, all this stuff to get it going. So it sat there. I'm like, I just spent $400, and then I think I ended up spending $1,000 to get it back on the road. So it turned into a $1,400 investment just overnight. And I think I was lucky that I had Jeep tires from a different Jeep I had. You know, I used to have like 14 Jeeps at one time, once upon a time. And I used those tires to put on here, so I didn't have to buy new tires. So that was nice. The rims worked back and forth. Anyways, they got this fixed. They got it back on the road. I got it to my house, and I would drive it around every once in a while. And I remember saying, this is my go and grab milk vehicle. Like, I need to run to the grocery store real quick. I'm just going to take this out for something to do. Now, Angie, do you remember the first time you tried to drive this Jeep?
I think it's the only time I've ever jumped a curb in my life. We did that first turn. It's like,
it was so
I was
scary.
sore. I was physically sore in my chest and arms after driving that.
Yeah, it took a lot of work.
Insane.
But Angie on our street jumped the curve and almost hit the huge light pole. The light pole in front of our house just missed that thing. So, Angie, you shouldn't probably be driving this thing. But I did go to a junkyard. I did buy seats for it, which was a good idea. And I think I ended up getting Grand Cherokee. Easy for me to say. Grand Cherokee seats. And they bolted in. We made that all work. So I had 2 seats in there, nothing in the back. We did buy carpet for it. I carpeted the interior. And then I spent like a whole summer stripping the paint off with like, to get all the paint off and all that. Mm-hmm. And my grandpa knew a guy that painted vehicles. So we painted a nice army green, and it was all good to go. So that was very, very fun.
Even with the white stars on it.
Put the white stars on it. Hopefully I can dig out a picture. But it was a cool thing to have. So I enjoyed having that Jeep. It was fun. Obviously, it's not a commuter Jeep. It's not something you're going to take the wife and kids and the family out in. But if you just want something quick like a golf cart, it was perfect for me. So I liked that. Got it where I wanted it to be. All was nice. Still had to work on it occasionally, but in a weird plot twist. Now, we lived in an old neighborhood at the time. That was our first house. And around the corner, there was an old service station. This guy just did like oil changes for people in the neighborhood, basically. I think he'd owned that forever. And I was like, man, I should have him check out. So he was working on my Wagoneer, and somehow we got talking about Jeeps. And he let me know that he was the head auto mechanic for the city for the postal Jeeps back in the 70s and 80s. And I said, you got to be kidding me. I said, oh my gosh. So I took my Jeep over there to him, and it was like, he almost like cried. Like he hadn't seen it. Like I hadn't seen one of these in 20 some years. He knew the ins and outs of that vehicle. Just amazing. So it was so cool to have him right around the corner. If I ever had a question, or if I ever needed anything worked on and oil changes or whatever I needed to do, he knew exactly how to handle these bad boys. So that was very awesome to have him around the corner. So that was a big help. Now, fast forward, I don't know how many years later, Angie and I decided, hey, we need to buy a bigger house. Let's go to a bigger house, the house we're currently in. And it's funny.
Funny enough, we're in the same position right now.
We had all these Jeeps. I think we had your Commander.
We can't afford the house we actually need. So much stuff.
Yeah, we had a Commander, we had a Wagoneer, we had my Wrangler, we had my company car. We had the postal Jeep. So we had all this. Said, hey, we're moving to, a better, I don't know, our neighborhood was good. It was
better, way better school district too, because we were planning on.
Yeah, it's a better school district, so we all missed. I don't know, maybe you've seen in the news about the Des Moines superintendent. You might want to look that up. So we got out of that.
Get out of there.
We got out of that school district about 10, 12 years ago to the nice suburb school district. So long story short, I don't know if our neighbors would put up with 5 vehicles in our driveway or whatever. We're over there in that area. It was more accepted, let's say. So anyways, I bought this house, and many people know what the story of this house, my basement where my collection is, was unfinished. So I had a buddy, good old Fred. Fred has since passed away, unfortunately. He built everything, could do everything. And I said, Fred, I really want to finish my basement. Will you help me? And I said, I know you've wanted my postal Jeep for a long time. I'll buy all the supplies. I'll buy everything. You just finish my basement, and I'll help you. I'll be your extra set of hands, help you carry stuff, do all that kind of stuff. And we formed a deal on that. So I gave Fred my postal Jeep for him working and finishing my basement. So to finish my basement, all I had to pay was the supplies. You know, you went to Menards or Lowe's or whatever. I bought everything, got a discount, all that. And then he did it all. And I helped him along the way. And it only took us like a month, maybe something like that. We bought him a couple of dinners on some nights and stuff. So we had a lot of good times. Shout out to good old Fred. But I gave him my postal Jeep as payment for that. And it kind of helped us. It helped him get something he kind of wanted. Got this out of our driveway because I don't know if the neighborhood was ready for classic old school Jeeps in this neighborhood.
I wonder where she landed.
So then, unfortunately, Fred 6 months later sold my postal Jeep. I think he said he sold it for like $5,000. So hey, good for him. You know, it was his. He could do whatever he wanted with it. But it was an interesting story, that postal Jeep, and a lot of fun and a lot of danger as well along the way. But that was the story of the postal Jeep. A little story time for Kyle from a cornfield in Iowa, driving home 2 hours on a milk crate, to it blowing up, having to be finished and worked on and all that, to finally being traded off. So a wild story, a yin and yang of Jeep stories here today in this episode number 29. But Angie, now it's time for a few final thoughts. All right, Angie, it's time to close out episode 29 of the Kyle Peterson Show. We got a few final thoughts. And Angie, I heard you had a dialogue you wanted to give everybody. No, not at all. No? Okay, well, we do got a couple of questions and comments this week. Do you want me to read them or do you want to read them?
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'll let you read
it. Looks so tiny.
I'll let you read the second one. I'll read the long one.
You don't have my readers on.
Oh, you don't have readers. All right. This one comes from Dave Sullivan, 1026.
I thought you were saying Dave's Hot Chicken.
No. Hey, Angie and Kyle. Love the books, the videos, and the pod. First, want to give Angie a shout out because she deserves the recognition for always bringing the good vibes to the show every week. And this is probably a Kyle-centric question, but if you have an answer, the better. Do you have an answer? We'll see if Angie has an answer with this one here. But it says, Dave went down a YouTube rabbit hole and ended up watching the entire Iron Maiden Rock in Rio 01 live show for the 50th time, probably. Do you have any live shows besides K-pop at Wrigley that you find yourself going back to and watching and consider classic? Thanks. Here's to the road to 100 episodes and more. So, Angie, I could probably answer this for you. I've only known you to ever watch one concert video ever. And I think it was on Disney+.
Oh, the Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift.
But I've never rewatched it, no.
No, but I remember you watched it a few times, or maybe you watched it in a couple of sittings.
It took me a couple sittings.
Okay, but I remember walking in there. I remember walking in the bedroom, and what were you doing?
Crying.
She was crying. She was crying. I'm thinking there's something wrong, and I'm just watching Taylor Swift. I'm just watching. Would you consider yourself a Swiftie?
Yeah, I don't like dive into like the Easter eggs and all the crazy stuff, and I like what I like, and I don't what I don't. But
and you like the Taylor Swift new album?
It's not my favorite.
It's growing on you.
I'm more like a lyric heavy, like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
I did see Taylor Swift on Jimmy Fallon this week, and I made the comment to you this week as well. I said, if she wasn't a musician, if she was just some lady you saw at the grocery store, like she wouldn't be one of those girls where whoa, check that out. Like I don't know. You
wouldn't double take her?
I wouldn't at all.
She's that pretty?
No, I think she.
Well, you like. I was gonna say
I like buxom women.
You like brunettes.
I do. I like all women. Let me tell you, I like all of them. But I don't know. Taylor, there's something about her. It reminds me of that book I had to read in like elementary. Sarah, Plain and Tall.
Yeah. Just
kind of like that. She just nothing against her. She just looks, very plain Jane. Just looks like a plain girl, like somebody you'd see at the library or something. I don't know. I don't know. She doesn't got that pizzazz, but whatever she's doing is working. So I'm totally off base on that, but she doesn't do a whole lot for me.
Maybe she's a little awkward and that works for her.
I don't know. It is what it is. And you said it. You like what you like, you don't what you don't. So Taylor Swift, I knew that would be your answer there, but it's so funny. He put Iron Maiden Rock in Rio. Angie's like, I don't know what that is, but if I showed you the video, you know what it is. I played that. I think that is the video I've played the most ever. Now, I was an Iron Maiden fan before the reunion with Adrian and Bruce around this time. That was their first kind of reunion concert, and Rock in Rio is massive. Look up the video if you've never seen it. Absolutely amazing, that wild crowd. I love it when there's 500,000 people there and they're jumping up and down. It just looks wild. It's just quite the spectrum. Iron Maiden just on full power at that time. And that very could be the video I've watched the most out of all concert videos ever. I absolutely love that one. Still to this day, Iron Maiden's had many ones after that that is the best one. And the beginnings of that one with the Wicker Man, an all-timer. And that Wicker Man is one of my favorite Maiden songs to this day. And a lot of it is because of that concert. Just set the tone, set the stage for that concert. Just absolutely amazing. If you like Iron Maiden, you've never seen Rock in Rio '01, man, check that bad boy out. It is life-changing. That's what I'm going to say. And back in the day when that was coming out, I'd always put the DVD player on and I'd be on the elliptical or the bike, and I would always watch stuff like that all the time. But a few other ones I watched many a times. Motorhead, Hammersmith is another classic from the 83, way back when. A lot of Rush concerts too. But nothing really has stole my heart like that Iron Maiden one. So it's very interesting that he put that in there. So Dave Sullivan, truly a good brother. We're on the same wavelength. We could sit on the couch and probably watch this a million times because it is that good of a concert. I really like that one. But like most things, most concerts, I watch one and that's about it. There's some good Judas Priest ones. I actually like that one Tim Ripper Owens Judas Priest one that was like, I forget what it was. It was for the Demolition album, but I like that one. That was even Rob Halford on vocals, but I thought that was an amazing performance. Probably because I saw like a performance right around that time. I saw Priest with Ripper Owens, so that was a big one. Alive in Athens, Iced Earth is another classic one I always enjoy. They're in the Athens like ruins and stuff playing in that. I always thought that was really cool. So there's been some good ones. Another one I've watched probably a million times is Bob Dylan. Was it like the 30th anniversary concert? I want to say it was from like 1992. It was at Madison Square Garden. You had George Harrison there, Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, Johnny Cash was there. A who's who celebrating Bob Dylan. That's an amazing concert. I've watched that one a bunch of times as well. So a lot of good live concert films, which really aren't as much of a thing as they used to be anymore. That's kind of sad, but that is Dave Sullivan's question. If you want to be the question, of course, put it in the comments down below or email the Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com and Angie will get around to it. But Angie, we got one last one and it's a short one, so you get to read it. She's trying. Focus.
Chebek. Eric Chebek, 7659. Here's a question. Do you two have any pet names for each other?
Do you got any pet names for me and do I have any for you?
I don't know. We're kind of weird how like we like call each other by our first name. He's like, oh, Ange. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people like never call their significant other by their first name. And so it's like when you say it, it sounds weird. Whereas like we always use each other's first name. But you call me Ange a lot.
Sometimes.
I
Usually
feel like,
Angie.
Ange, but only when you're joking. You're like, oh, Ange, come on, Ange. Like it's like you're like calling me an old lady name or something.
Now I do this a lot too, is I call you Mom.
Yeah, same. I call you Dad too.
I say, Mom, Mom,
yes,
go, Mom.
We call each other Mom and Dad, but it's not like a sexy thing.
Yeah, it's weird. So I do that. Maybe that's just when the kids are around. Just I don't know. Because if I said Angie, they'd be real confused. I don't know who you're talking about, but Mom, okay, I know who that is. But I can't think of anything. We've never really done that kind of stuff. I'm trying
You're
to
just
think.
like, hey, you get over here and
yeah, I give the old
grab
Scorpion
me
Mortal
and-
Kombat. Get over here. Get over here. I don't
Oh my
know.
God.
No honey bear, no sugar baby, none of that kind of stuff.
No, that's not really our vibe.
No, I should start though. Maybe I'll try to think of something. Anybody got any recommendations? What should I call Angie? That should be fun. And let me know in the comments down below.
It's like, get over here, let me milk you.
Whoa, is that still going on? There's plenty in there.
We can
I'm
always
sure.
try.
Can always try.
It don't work anymore.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's it. There's no real answer there.
You love to see like overweight women and you say, oh, hello, Mrs. Peterson. That's what he likes
Now,
to do.
not necessarily overweight women. It's usually
Or
when
they're hideous. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, look, it's
Like,
Mrs. Peterson.
I'll see like a lady that's like 400 pounds and she's on a mobile scooter on the sidewalk driving and she's smoking a cigarette and she
I'll be
looks
like,
just.
hey, kids, look, it's your mom.
I said, oh, hey, Mrs. Peterson, there's Mom. Or usually when I see the classic I see out there is you see like girls your age, women your age, whatever you want to say, and they're wearing like an Eeyore shirt or a Winnie the Pooh shirt. And I say, Angie, how long until you're wearing something like that? Like, I just can't imagine wearing an Eeyore shirt. But somebody says the same thing about me wearing an Iron Maiden shirt, I'm sure. So it's like, you like what you like, what you don't, what you don't. But it's always fun. It's always fun. Oh, hey, Mrs. Peterson. Oh, hey,
my
Angie,
God.
come here. Oh, I got you two confused. I do that from time to time.
God.
Gotta have fun out there. Gotta have
You
fun.
do. We're just silly gooses.
Gotta have fun. So there it is. That's episode 29.
29.
So, Angie, what did we learn today? Angie didn't pay attention, apparently. There's a lot that we've talked about here. What did we
The
talk
chips
about?
were mid. Superman was mid.
Okay.
Got a new Jeep.
Got a new Jeep.
We had an old Jeep. We got rid of it.
Had an old Jeep, got
We've
rid
had
of
a
it.
few old Jeeps we've gotten rid of.
Yep. We learned
Oh, you're the new wingman.
the new wingman. That's true. I've always been more of a breast man, but I'm going to dive into the wings here the next year, apparently. We also learned about Long John Silver's doing their crazy changeover. I don't know how that's going to end up going. We also learned about a little bit about a Slayer Minotaur, and we learned about our love for the Iron Maiden concert. Me and Dave Sullivan's love of the Iron Maiden concert is what we learned about. So
it's crazy, some of those metal shows that are really small in the U.S. and then you see them overseas and like in Europe and stuff, and it's like just fields.
It's always interesting. It's always interesting. So that's it. That's episode 29. We'll be back with episode 30 next week as we get dangerously close to Halloween. Cannot wait to see what Angie's got for Halloween this year.
Oh, God.
I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know if we can even put this on YouTube. It might have to be a Patreon exclusive, the only Patreon exclusive podcast episode. I don't know if we can put that out there, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. If they shut us down, they shut us down. It was fun while it lasted. That's all we can say. So there it is, Angie. Tell everybody goodbye in your own special way. I'm going to let you do it, whatever you want to do, however you want to end the show. It's all for you.
Love you. Goodbye. That's it. Love you. Love you. See you later.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?